Greetings and welcome to Destiny and Dice, a D&D live stream game set in the world of Eberron. We apologize for being out last week. Well, as far as this game was concerned, I've heard everything about this wonderful one-shot that was run, and if you haven't had a chance to go check it out, it's up on our YouTube, so head on over there and watch it. It was run by one of our players, Ron Mallon, or are you good with the other name? I forget. It's Jared. Jared's good. I like it. Okay. It was run by Jared, and who is a very amazing person to game under. He's a great DM, and I'm sure it was a very exciting episode. And we're back this week, ready to pick up where we left off before. So without further ado, I think I'm ready to jump in if the rest of my players are. I see smiles, so we're going to go with it. Okay. When last we met, the Shadow Slayers had found themselves locked in combat with statue guardians of House Cannith deep in the facility of Whitehearth. But as it turned out, the statues were only a means to an end. As all the Shadow Slayers gathered together in the workshop to stand against their foes, Fixer, Jalira's faithful friend, detected something strange and malevolent coming from the Cannith Forge of Making behind them. And as they turned to face it, the wall behind them closed, and they realized that this room is a trap. In the workshop, inside the Cannith Forge of Making, a menacing force, I want to say malevolent and menacing at the same time, began to assault the party. At first glance, it appeared to be just shadowy tendrils, but as the Shadow Slayers laid into it with all types of damage, its true nature of aberrant dragonmark corruption was revealed. It seemed bent on latching on to aberrant or corrupted dragmarks and pulling them towards its innermost source. It kept growing and reaching and striking out everything until Z set concussive fire to its center and the source of its power, the Cannith Forge of Making, reducing its mass and reach, but not without cost. Having just latched on to the aberrant mark on Nyx's face, it ripped her aberrant mark off and began dragging it back inside the damaged Cannith Forge. In this moment, the party hears Nyx's scream of utter and complete loss, pain, fear, and God knows what else. And in that moment of silence, Rix shouts out, "She can't get the marks! She can't!" And in the rush of it all, the entire party has this crystalline moment of clarity in these tenuous, frightful heartbeats. First, these tentacles are capable of pulling marks off individuals. Second, the forge from which they emanate is directly below the aberrant dragon-marked figure bound in the cells above them. And third, the shadowy covering of the tentacles bears a striking similarity to the miasma that was moving from cell to cell. Now, in this circumstance, we have fallen out of the initiative order, but there's going to be a very set order in which things can take place. The person who will be going first at this time is Bruise.
Oh, good.
After hearing her scream of pain and loss, what do you do?
Cool. Would it be wrong to ask for the map?
That's fair.
I'm not stalling.
Stalling? You're stalling. I'm not stalling.
Cool.
And there should be the map.
Cool. Okay. All right. So Nyx just had her mark ripped off her face and being pulled back. Rix yelled out, "She can't get it." Cool. We're below. I mean, how many dragon marks does Nyx need? I mean, isn't this really just fixing a problem? No, crap. Okay. Yeah, I guess Bruce is gonna try to stop it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna go. Well, since his radiant axe seems to do something, he's gonna try to cut the tentacle. Is that viable?
Okay. You can certainly try.
Cool. Cool. All right.
Before this happens, I just want to announce to everybody, Happy St. Patrick's Day. Everybody here has a inspiration point. And not only can you use those inspiration points for you, you can hand those inspirations out to other people.
Okay.
It's been so long.
Why does that worry me more? Okay. Sure. Okay, yeah, so we'll rush forward. Cool. All right, yeah, I guess so. Should we reckless? What do you think, guys? Reckless?
Why not?
Oh, up to you, bud.
You only live once, right?
Good
23?
reckless.
That's a good reckless.
Okay. And you're swinging one-handed, two-handed?
I mean... Can he... How accurate a swing can he get?
A 23. That's pretty
Okay.
accurate.
I mean, yeah, he's trying to, like, make sure that he doesn't, like, miss and hit the wrong portion.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess the two-handed?
Two-handed, okay. You swing out. As your axe cleaves through the air, and as it arrives in contact with the tentacle, the radiant white light that has been imbued into your axe by Tongs, the Warforged artificer from Lyrenton. A slight chiming bell almost kind of echoes throughout the room, and it cuts into the tentacle, burning with purifying white light.
Lovely, thank you.
In that moment, as you sever that tentacle, your eyes see the dragon mark. The dragon mark itself is very, well, for lack of a better word, it's very pretty. It's very beautiful. It looks delicate almost. It's a tetrahedron of points, of four-pointed arrowheads, encasing rings, encasing this glowing, pulsing sphere. And in that moment, you watch as it starts to fall to the ground, and this fear gripping you that it might shatter overtakes you. And so just like letting your bottom hand fall off, you reach out and you grab, not the dragon mark, because that would be foolish, but you grab the tentacle thinking, okay, I can give this back to Nyx. So you save it, you grab it, you keep it from hitting the ground with your other hand. But in that moment of reaching to catch it, your eyes kind of lock on to the slight pulsating nature of the sphere. And the tentacle in your hand almost seems to come back to life. And suddenly you find yourself in a cool, dark place. It's shadowy, it's dark, it's almost a relief. As if all the harshness has been taken out of the world and you find yourself in this cool, calm place. And a voice, soothing and warm, calls your name, Bruise. And yet not Bruise. I must thank you for helping me in my time of greatest need. A hand, warm and soothing, caresses your face, and you feel the thankfulness for what you have done. For you, that which was taken, I can restore. And images begin to flash through your mind. The assault on the Enchantress Song, the death of Callista, you and Colin diving into the water after Odiana and Kish, the flash of lightning above you as the enemy vessel retreats but fires one last time. The churning of the water as pieces of the song begin to sink above you, barely surfacing with Kish's body in the middle of a storm that has unleashed itself. The longboat you and Colin and Odiana and a few crew members used to get to shore. The loss of Galvis, Torth, Suresight, and Kish is hard, But like always, your family is there to support you and lift you up during this time of grief. Memories start coming faster and faster, finding out you were named in Galvus's will, receiving funds in hope of setting up a better life for you. Odiana and Colin bringing you to the dockyard where they had secretly stashed the remains that could be found of the Enchantress song, and using that money that was given to you by its former captain to rebuild the boat, to get it afloat once more, to bring the crew, the family back together. Odiana taking time repairing the song and rebuilding it into the new ship it's become, a secret elemental vessel. Following in Galvus's footsteps, you work to undo the stranglehold Lyrandar has on the trade industry and get a form of revenge for what they have done. You see 6 long years of hard work and friendship growing with your crew. You see time spent in Sharn with your family, being there for Z's graduation and Cherry's induction into her guild. You see drinks with Nyx and awkward holidays with Rix. You see time spent with Pipes. You remember letters to Kiz as she's away exploring around the Mornland. And from there, the voice shows you what might still be. You see timelines forming, shaping possibilities spreading out before you, successful voyages to Zendrick. You see yourself fulfilling Galvus's dream of making a shipping fleet, a fleet to rival that of House Lyrandar. The success, the wealth, the happiness, and by the time the house has figured out what you and Odiana have built, you're too successful to just get rid of. And yet on the very edge of this wonderfully happy vision, a storm looms in the distance. And suddenly a flash of lightning and a rumble of thunder. And in the flash, you see the woman that's caressing your face. The woman from upstairs covered in aberrant dragon marks. And you see something else. Someone else, a figure you can't make out, a dark shadow, and a voice cold and hard as steel speaks. Now, shall we show him the truth? Looking at the gathered threads, you watch them all turn dark, each happy potential vision slowly corrupting on itself. You watch as ships begin going missing, as trusted captains resign and never return from their missions, all fortunes turning sour. A sable flag bearing a dour skull, a bloodied crow's claw, and a lightning bolt crossed below it. You see Z hunted by her own house and winding up in a place very much like this one, in a facility and cell block very much like the one above you, an experimental plaything of House Cannith. You see a wounded and exhausted Kizriel and her pet Gwara wandering alone in the Mornland day in and day out. And then, finally, huddled in some cave, reaching out to what appears to be 2 halflings that bear a striking resemblance, that only drag her deeper into the monstrous maw that she thought was a cave. Jalira enslaved in a workshop in her attempted escape, only to find herself on the edge of a floating fortress, followed by the sound of heavy metallic footprints, and then, in the shadows on the wall behind them, a warforged figure carrying a multi-bladed scythe, bringing it down on her. Rix, hunted down, fighting as best he can, throwing spell, lashing out with blade, but meeting the end that you now expect from the previous visions, executed in some dark alley and left to lie for the crows. And finally, you see Nyx. The mark on her chest, the claws over the storm and spreading lightning, tainting her life from here on out. You watch as Nyx becomes the monster that she fears, taking lives for fun, hunting, stalking, and eventually put down like the rabid animal she becomes. And that cold, steely voice returns. And yet, of all the threads, this one burns most bright. And you see this thread laid out, dominating all others, outshining all other possibilities. You see the woman who's caressing you, But once again, upstairs in the cells, smiling her slight knowing smile, and before her on the ground is you, a huddled mass of green orc, no dragon mark on your chest, covered in wounds and dead. Surrounding your corpse, your family likewise wounded and fallen. No! Get out! The warmer voice has become shrill and enraged and tries to push the cold figure out. And in this moment, there is a battle that takes place in your mind. You can't see it. It's battle done in the dark, but you feel the emotions of each being as they vie for control of this space. And eventually, the cold steel voice wins out. And you find yourself again in a dark, cool place. Then the cold and steely voice says, it does not have to end this way. And you find in your hand a final thread, faint and tarnished, but you see yourself with your aberrant mark standing before the woman in the cell, defiant and haughty. You sneer at her behind her bars because her magic can do nothing to you. You see the potential of your family being okay and the possibility of them all making it through this, even if it's faint and tarnished and almost gone. But following that thread back to its origin, it's a dark night at sea as the song is ravaged while you're powerless to stop it. And solidifies with you on a ship in another storm, taking off a woman's hand and becoming the glowing-eyed monster that took over Nyx and had attacked you. And then you're back in Whitehearth. You're not facing the tentacled monster, but you're holding the tentacle in one hand, the dragon mark hanging down, and you look and you see Nyx as her form is starting to burst at the seams as she's becoming the monster that attacked you. The green, dark green orc with the brilliant blue eyes flashing. And the cold steely voice says, without me, she will die. And without him, you will too, along with all those you love. I beg you, please, take back the storm. And Rix, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, shoot. That was really good. Rix is going to do as I had planned. He's going to rush forward, and he's going to grab that mark. The one that is dropping.
Okay.
And he's going to go to his sister and look her in the face and go, trust me. And I think that's the end of my turn. Oh yeah, disengage, by the way, because I was close enough to, yeah. Bonus action disengage. I don't
No
want...
tentacle attacks against you.
Please, no.
Okay.
I'm so low on health. I'm so low on health.
Okay. Everybody watches as Rix jumps down from his perch upon the table that formerly held weapons that Bruce has kind of left littered around the room at this point. And he's run over and he just freaking grabbed the dragon mark, this small tetrahedron-like shape in his hand, and he's running over to his sister, Nyx. In this moment, Nyx, you find yourself out of control of yourself, but crying and screaming and trying hard, that calm stillness of mind that you had recently developed, trying to put that back into place. But at this moment, the storm inside you rages too hard, and you find yourself unable to speak, to listen, to know. Kizriel.
My plan then she will still do it is she doesn't understand or care about the marks. She is worried about her friend on the ground. So
Okay.
Let's do second level and hope that doesn't, because you still have to roll the thing where okay, does she heal anything?
So healing effect is doubled.
Girl.
Jalira gains 32 hit points.
Shit.
Heck yeah.
Oh, we've never rolled that in the Mordland, have we? It's
Not
always
yet.
half or jump to another dimension or
Passing out or only minimal healing.
Jumping to another dimension wouldn't be a bad one right now.
no. I mean, oh,
Uh,
wow, that's cool. Okay, so
So
she's gonna cut it. If she can use, I don't know if she can use like her movement to. She's gonna check on Jalira. She's
Okay.
gonna look around and try to gauge what's going on.
Okay. It's
And,
probably at this point that you're like, you had looked at Jalira and seen her down, as like you kind of look up, because all this stuff tends to happen in this simultaneous moment that, you know, we put out in turns, but it really is like 6 seconds of bam, 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 bam thing going on at the same time. At this point, you kind of lay your hands on her. You feel not only the rush of the healing magic go through you, but something extra as you just push the power of nature into your friend's form, and her eyes just boom spring open. At which point, Jalira, it is your turn.
Probably still got adrenaline in the body somewhere. Okay. Okay. Where are we at? The thing, creepy thing, still there. We're gonna grab her wand. That she's got her fiery spells plugged into, and she's gonna catch Scorching Ray at the
Into
the
it?
cauldron. Yeah, I think she's hoping that it'll go through the.
Into the open door of the furnace or at the cauldron on top of it?
The forge in general.
She would like to burn everything.
I'm right here, so.
And then we'll point out
Maybe
to the
not
clear line of sight. Bruce is
everything.
not between her and it.
She wants to hit both. All right.
Okay. What do you want to do? Three rays of Scorching Ray? Those are all attack rolls.
She rolled them all at once, or
Ooh.
Really?
The first one will miss.
Keep rolling.
The second one and the third one will hit.
Okay.
I mean, it's not really moving.
I know, but you know, wiggly.
Damage on the second one.
Oh, and the second one? Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Okay.
21 points of fire damage as you kind of shoot fire into it. The fire itself seems to kind of cut and twist around the tentacles, going straight for their source that seems to be in the middle of this forged dome. And you start to see a crack develop in the forge itself. And the tentacles again withdraw a little more. Z, what are you doing?
He is going to aim at the forge and shut up. At 3rd level.
Shatter at 3rd level.
Oh, nice.
20 points of thunder damage. Whoa. Why is it twice?
Because I hit the button twice accidentally.
Gotcha. Okay.
Still, that's a good amount of
Or
damage.
very similar to-
That's a lot of damage.
Again, you cast your spell into the forge itself, into the inside where you can see almost now between your fireball and Jalira's Scorching Rays, this kind of core that seems to be floating in the center, casting shatter directly on it and imploding it, the core cracking further, and the forge itself struggling to contain what magic keeps it together. I think I've gone through everyone. Bruce, we're back to you. What would you like to do?
Find a quiet place to think for a while.
Timing, Bruce.
Could you just like, all right, just gonna take 5?
Okay. The tentacles are receding further in, trying to overcome what's been pounding at it recently. So you find yourself for the moment outside the tentacles range. But you are able to see that the forge itself is cracking.
Okay. Probably gonna. So he was holding the tentacle. Rix took the mark off the tentacle and took it over to Nyx.
Yeah.
So he's gonna drop the tentacle.
You drop it right there where that pipe is, and it kind of looks like that pipe from the thing. Just bleh, right on the table. Nice.
Jerry can look at that later. Yeah. I'm probably gonna look at the mark. Can he see Nyx's mark still? Like, I don't know what the angle is.
Oh no, I have
Rix
it in my
is kind
hand.
of like down in there, like he's like right at her face. So you're not entirely sure what Rix is doing at the moment.
Yeah. Can he? Because like this was in his head. Can he sense her there still?
A vague impression still remains, but it's just of Nyx's dragon mark. The tentacle that you threw onto the ground had no longer life, any wriggling, any energy coming out of it.
Gosh. He'd probably ask if he can, like, what do I need? What do I do?
To who?
In his head, to what lingers of the dragon mark.
When the time comes, say yes. Almost kind of like sarcastically, but patient, like...
Bruh.
Bruce isn't done. All right, he's probably gonna like take a step back because I think that's where he dropped the mace.
Okay.
Or the hammer. It was a great
Warhammer. Yeah, Warhammer.
Warhammer. And he's gonna run and jump and try to smash the forge with it.
Perfect.
Yeah, he'll swing recklessly because why not? You only live once. Oh boy.
It's beautiful. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Y'all.
Whew.
Can you tell me the total damage that you do?
31, it looks like. I'm reading that right? 31?
As you run and again, this is two-handed?
Two-handed, yeah.
Cool. You just bring it down and rain of fire upon the dome of this forge. Just crash. Your first hit just starts to bend it, and you see the dome of the forge start to try and resist the magic inside, trying to uphold it, and then it just collapses. And you bring your hammer up a second time, kind of having almost a good view into it, where you see the hole that you've made in the top with the warhammer. As you see like the remnants of whatever it was that was powering or giving source and energy to these tentacles kind of feebly lying there. And you just bring your hammer down on it, and there's this distinct, almost shattering sound. And the forge, any lights that were associated with, just kind of power down. And the Sibera shard on the outside that it pulled power from just cracks and almost kind of slowly disintegrates as it falls out of its setting. And the tentacles are no more. And the forge is kind of no more.
We're still in initiative.
Just a mending cantrip, it'll be fine.
Rick,
Yes.
it is your turn.
My turn?
No, it's Rick's.
Okay.
Rick's
I was
looks
gonna
at-
say, I don't think I do anything.
Rix looks at her and he goes, and he's like talking to her, but it's not her he's talking to. Okay. And he goes, I'm going to put you back if he'll let me. Leave her alone. And he's going to take Seek and he's going to shove it back into Nyx's face.
Okay. Z, what's your passive perception?
Mm-hmm. Passive perception 12.
12. You see Bruce kind of smash down the forge. You kind of look over to your side because you hear like, leave her alone. And you see as Rix pushes this essentially this giant triangular prism into Nyx's face. And you see it for a split second. You see that same thing that had been floating above Rix's head under your dragon mark sight as it lights up for the briefest instant while he's pushing it into her face. And Nyx, once again, I'm sorry, you cry out in pain because it's not going to feel any better going back in.
Sorry.
Good.
Oh.
As he pushes it into the
I,
left side.
I can do that in a single turn, Mike?
Yes, you can.
Okay. As he does that, he's going to reach and he's going to use the other hand to reach it to her chest, and he's going to pull Kuma out.
Again, that kind of flashing light, you had this moment, Z, where you've looked over at what's going on, like almost enthralled. Like as she's pushing in this, you see the kind of a faint flicker of the light above her head as her other hand, which you weren't originally watching, has grabbed on to the dragon mark on her chest and has begun to extract it out of her.
Well, Z's gonna start being like, "What the fuck?"
And Rix is gonna turn over his shoulder if you let me, and he's gonna look at Bruce and he's like, "Please, let me put him back." And that's the end of my turn.
Nyx. No, sorry, I'm gonna skip Nyx. Sorry, again, trauma.
Pretty sure she's gonna pass out.
Almost as soon as Kuma detaches, the orc form slowly starts to melt off of you, and you melt back into your standard changeling form, kind of twitching a little bit as things start to resettle. Kizrael, at this point, Bruce has gone like crazy on the forge. Z's shouting. Jalira's like back, like sitting up, like what's going on, and what are you doing?
I'm going to kind of come up here and I'm going to ask Rex and be like, can I help? I have the protection from evil spell on Janine, but I can move it to Nyx. If you think it would help.
He's just going to be like, it's up to Bruce now.
Okay, but okay.
He's going to look at, he's like, it's up to Bruce now. Take care, but like he's like, it's up to Bruce now, and he just kind of looks at her determined as he's holding a dragon mark in his hand.
Yes, you're just trying to figure out like, what am I supposed to do? Should I heal somebody?
Take it for yourself.
I've already got a dragon mark.
Little changeling
Nick had two.
transformed into a half orc. It's like she's gonna be straight up hulking out.
Now she wants to.
And like, your 6 seconds have passed. Moving on to Jalira.
I was going to tell Guara to help Bruce out. So she jumps up here.
Gora starts
Just
rending what she can with her awesome kitty claws.
I'm not gonna make
So-
her bite it. Oh no, we're not. Okay.
Jalira.
No roll.
Like
Okay,
Nick,
so-
Rix has turned around and he's now holding this rather intricate design. It looks like a dragon claw holding a cloud from which thunder is rumbling, pulsing, and occasional streaks of lightning are shooting out of it in this kind of eldritch red, purple, black. Just as she's kind of holding this pulsing thing in her hand.
His hand.
His hand.
Sorry.
I apologize.
It's okay.
What do you do?
Go back to sleep. It's safe for them.
Does
And
what need? Does
That's
anything
about
look
your
like
6 seconds. Just,
I mean, maybe. I mean, does anything immediately look like needs to happen? Other than that, she's gonna just be like, "What the frick?" And it's, yeah, kind of.
Solid.
okay.
And my roll 20
After
is
Jalira
29.
is, I believe, Zanim. Zanim! Seeing what's happening and what's transpiring. Same question. What do you do?
I'm paying real close attention to Rick.
Fair.
Like holding somebody else's dragon mark. Like what the frick?
I'll never be allowed near anyone ever again.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, prior to this, prior to entering Whitehearth, there was never any thought that marks could be forcibly, magically removed. Like, you know, you cut the mark off physically from the body, it grows back and replaces itself where it was, or moves to someplace else if it wants. Like, if in the case of you know, a hand being chopped off, that mark will reappear, just maybe not the hand that is now missing. That being said, having gone through the experience of seeing what happened to Bruce and having performed something that shifted his mark from him to Nyx, like, okay, some arcane thing took place, and that happened. You still don't understand it why. And now this Rick's walking up to somebody, grabbing a dragon mark, shoving it in while pulling another one out, has left you in this.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Do I kill it? Do I like? There's part of you that's just like, you could fireball him right now. He probably couldn't evade it all.
Except I think she's probably a little too stunned to even like go there. She's just like, what the heck? Except
Okay.
she's using much worse language than that.
Obscenities and orcish.
Yes,
There's some great
orcish
goblin terms.
obscenities,
Just a bunch of goblin,
all of them. Like, what the frick are you doing? You know, all the things. So she's paying real close attention and is a little about the whole thing.
Okay.
Bruce is both
But
a
she's not
sailor
gonna-
and the person
she's
that
not
taught her
gonna interfere,
goblin,
she's not gonna step in the
and
way,
he's
she's
impressed by
observing.
her swearing.
Like, some of the things like old Zanima's saying right now kind of makes young Bruce blush a little. Like,
Where'd she learn all of that?
regardless,
Lady.
Bruce, we come back to your turn.
Cool. So is Rick just like looking at him holding a dragon mark in his hand?
Yeah, and he said, please let me put it back.
Bruce would probably like involuntarily kind of take half a step back, like kidding into the forge that he's standing next to, as he's staring at this thing in Rick's hand. And he's like all the things that had just flashed through his mind, it's flashing through it again. He's trying to his crew, his family, he's probably gonna ask that voice is this it?
Now is the time.
There's no other way. This is it.
No other way that I can see. Where she will not kill you all.
All right. Probably what Bruce is just. That's what he's gonna do on his turn. He's just gonna kind of stare at that mark. He's probably sweating a bit, and it just.
Is there any indication that he's saying yes?
He hasn't run.
Okay. I mean, where's he gonna run?
He's just kind of like he's,
Where you gonna
he
run?
definitely looks very wary. He's just his eyes are wide. He's kind of staring at it. He looks afraid.
Why are you running? Why are you running? Okay. Okay.
Rix.
Okay. Rix is going to walk across the room to Bruce, and he's going to look him in the eyes as he's holding this mark in his hand, and he's going to say, "We love you no matter who you are. We want you to be alive, and we want you to stay alive. I don't want to do this, but it's the only way I know." And he's going to basically pull Bruce into a hug, and as he's hugging him really tightly, he's going to put Kuma back into his chest. And he's just, and it's not like hugging you to like keep you there. It's like hugging you as like,
I got you, bro.
I got you. And it's like, and he's just kind of whispering, he's like, whatever happens, I love you. Boom. It goes in.
Okay.
Julia's just watching this like she's
Does
watching a
Bruce
movie.
accept?
Totally enthralled.
What does that moment feel like?
He pushes the dragon mark in. This moment, at first it burns. It burns having you as Bruce the Younger not having been struck by lightning before, not really knowing how that feels. It hurts. And then, almost as if the last vista of when her hand touches against your chest. His hand touches against your chest. I'll get it one of these days.
You got it for so long. I threw you off. I'm sorry.
And then the hand kind of sits there, and almost an immediate warmth spreads through you, a surety of rightness that this is what belongs here. This is that missing piece that you haven't been able to really track. And here it is.
I think like as that moment hits, like as that pain shoots through him and it starts to merge. At least this version of Bruce would reach out one last time to that steely voice and just can you tell him I'm sorry that I wasn't enough? And then I'll accept the mark back.
Okay. like great towering stones start falling and collapsing and stacking and rebuilding and reorganizing as your life comes back to you. You feel the wild soul magic that had been yours slowly start to fade out of you as the aberrant dragon mark magic starts to fill in that gap and resupply and overlap bit by bit by bit as your memories coalesce into what you remember prior to touching the crystal. And then you remember touching the crystal. You remember everything that has happened, everything that you've gone through as not you, but you. And you find yourself in this moment with Rick's hugging you, his hand still on your chest.
Shaking, just like trembling and terrified.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as 6 years worth of not the greatest memories settle in, Bruce is probably he's gonna rage. He's gonna, just kind of like as you're holding him, as it enters him, you just kind of see, for I guess those of you that are watching, because Rix is next to him, but like you just see him twitching, his face contorting, and as memory after memory hits, it just like almost like taking blows, and then at a certain point, like he just can't take it anymore, and he's gonna rage. His eyes are gonna burn white, and he's just gonna when he's gonna send out his wave.
Cool.
Okay.
There go my 3 hit points. No, but it's good though. It's good RP.
Okay.
Are you serious? You only have 3 hit points?
Yeah.
Okay, roll 20 is showing you with almost full bar.
What? Why is it showing me with full bar? It should be 3.
Roll me.
You have to adjust it on each.
I don't remember how to play this
Yeah, I don't
character.
know why it's doing that.
I need a wisdom saving throw for Guara and Rick.
And Rix? Wisdom saving throw. It's not gonna be good. Yeah,
Guara's good.
That's not gonna be good for
She's
me.
like, I feel you, man. I got you. Yeah. She's vibing with Bruce, I think.
Roar.
Like, Gora knows this bruise. This is her bruise. Rix, as that blast of, what did it end up being?
I think cold.
Cold erupts from Bruce in the circle around him. You feel fear. You're frightened. You're scared. And it overcomes you and you pass out.
Can I say
As-
something
as he
before
deals-
I pass out?
As he deals 3 points of aberrant aura energy cold damage to you.
Can
But
Rix-
yeah, sure.
Yeah, he just looks at Bruce and he's like, I'm sorry. Unconscious.
Timber.
I am gonna roll death saves. La di da da da.
Okay. In that moment, Kizriel, what
I
do
don't
you
know
do?
why you think you're going to roll death saves. You got two other people with some healing spells that are feeling
I
okay.
don't trust healing spells here, okay?
Well, okay. Kiz is a
Or
little
my-
cocky. That last one went so well, okay?
Please don't do damage to me.
You have.
I know.
Oh, do you have open spell slots?
Yes, I have spell slots, yes.
I guess because
Let's go ahead. 2, 6. Okay, that's my last second level. So, Mr. Dungeon Master.
Nice. I get 9 points of healing, but I'm paralyzed for 9 minutes.
No.
Sure.
Cast.
Oh.
So she's stuck in this.
You reach down, you pull up that natural magic that you have access to that taught to you by the druid. You put your hand down, and you feel it push through you, but in that moment, you feel the ambient energy of the Mournland itself take hold and just lock you into place.
Okay.
Juliera?
Can I roll an insight to see how much of that conversation I was able to empathetically understand?
Sure.
Okay, then I'm crying.
Okay.
And then I see Rick's go down. I'm gonna run over to him. I guess I'm sitting on top of the anvil.
I'm probably
And then,
like
and then I'm gonna fish Fixer out, and then I'm gonna completely start bawling because Fixer's still broken, and she's like, "I can't fix this. I gotta." So, let's do. She's gonna just start. Okay, I don't look at. But is he okay? I mean, did the heal work? I mean, I don't think I can. I can't do the spirit of the dying. Fixer's broken. Well,
I feel like if the heal worked, my eyes probably flashed open, like immediately. So I'm staring up at you.
I think you can tell.
Okay. So she's like, okay, and instead she's gonna just look at Fixer, continue crying, and just sit in the corner and start trying to fix him.
Fix.
Okay. Z, what do you do?
So what would I need to roll to see how well Z grokked all that?
Roll me an insight check. Or an arcana check, whichever you want.
Woo!
That's Bruce's sister.
It's not so good.
Not accurate.
She understood it scientifically, but not
from the emotional aspect. You're a little fuzzy, like the whole shock of Rick's being able to pull marks out of people and put them back in others kind of leaves you in this almost terrified state, though your logical brain immediately begins charting out how, what, is it possible? I mean, we've been witness to this thus far, so obviously it's possible, just not probable.
Mm-hmm.
And in the back of your head, that, there's just this moment of cold fear.
Well, sure.
You feel something cold and wriggly where your dragon mark is.
Sure, because now we've seen Rick's rip off dragon marks.
Oh no.
Dragon marks feeling self-defense.
Okay, I think that the initial thing would be is Bruce still screaming?
Probably.
Okay, she will walk over to Bruce and without getting in his face or in his way, start talking nicely and comforting to him and try to bring him down, because Rix has other people's attention right now, and that's okay with Z. So she's going to focus on her brother in a don't knock me out too kind of way. Let's see what we can do to de-escalate this super crazy situation that we're all in.
Nyx, you find yourself in that cool, dark place. That place where you've contacted and held conversations with Seek before. You're curled up. You wake up curled up in a ball in the fetal position. But you feel Seek's calm, cool, reassuring hand on your shoulder, gently shaking you, whispering, "It's okay. I'm here. It's okay." What do you do?
Gonna sob.
That rage that you'd been feeling over the past few days or few hours or however long it's been, you've lost track of time. There's no light here. There's no windows. There's no way of really knowing what time of day it is and how long it's truly been. That rage is gone. The anger is gone. And yet you find yourself unable to do more than weep and sob and cry, and Seek, for her part, does her best to comfort you. And we're going to be back at the top of the order with Bruise, and we're going to come just out of any turn order at this point. So, Bruise, you've raged, you've screamed, you've let loose your aura wave. Do you let it loose again?
I'm gonna guess that he's at this point cognizant enough of the people around him that he's not going to lash out at them.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess he would just keep the rage as long as he could, just, you know, trying to use it to protect himself like he usually does.
Where you are kind of leaned back up against the forge, you've dropped the axe because of the pressure and the emotional overtake that you had, but your hand does manage to find this piece, the shard of the metal dome of the forge, which you just grip in your hand and continue just squeezing, doing everything you can to maintain your rage and keep it going for as long as you can. Rix.
Having gone unconscious and is now back up on the ground, prone, he's going to kind of like, he's going to pick himself up and kind of give space to Bruise, because he's scared of him, so he's going to do it. And he's going to look at Z as she's speaking to him.
Attack of opportunity.
He's going to look at Z, though, and he's going to make a mental note to talk to her later about what's going on with her mark. And he's going to just bonus action disengage. Jeez. Kind of as he's walking past Kisrael, like put a hand on her shoulder and be like, "Thank you."
At which point you feel how tense she is, and you realize she hasn't moved an inch. Walking by her, normally Kisrael's a polite character. She'll move out of the way, let people by. She is stone still.
Okay.
In the position of having her hand of where it was on your like shoulder.
He's gonna be like,
She's like stuck like that.
he's just gonna like awkwardly hug her. He's like, but he's gonna be looking at his sister, who's sobbing, and at this point, I think Rix is crying too. Kind of just like, not like making noises, but he's openly weeping, and he's gonna like just look at Nyx, and if he manages to catch her eye, he's just gonna like mouth to her or he's gonna say to her in their twin speech, like, "Is it better now?"
Nyx
And-
is still unreachable at the moment. But as you awkwardly hug Kiz, you feel the tightness in her body. You like this, like all of her muscles are taut, and this is not a natural state. Something is wrong.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's not a lot I can do. He's just gonna. I could try. Can I check to see what's going on with her?
Sure, roll me a medicine check.
Oh, good. I'm great at those. Oh, hey.
You are able to deduce that she is indeed paralyzed in the current position she's in. She's unable to move a muscle.
Immediately starts looking around for spiders.
Sorry, I decided to tickle her.
Yeah, but he's gonna like try to figure out like to like at least move her if possible.
Roll me a quick dexterity check.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I was gonna try.
Me dexterity check.
Yes. Yeah, you got that, right?
Do I?
Yeah, you're good. You managed not to tip her over on accident while you're studying her with the medicine check. She starts to teeter a little bit. You're like, ooh. Gora is, at this point now, very concerned about what's going on with her mommy.
But he's gonna try to move her over here to, if possible. Like, I guess not move here, but like move her to here.
I mean, how much does Kizreal weigh? Like 20 pounds, maybe?
Let me look.
I
Less
think it
than
was
full-grown
30, and
Jaguar.
I could actually pick her up. I was holding her on the rope before. So Rix can do it.
He's gonna see about moving her if possible.
Just pick her up, gently carry her over to where...
Can you move her over here? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and he just moves her there. And he's like patting her head gently, and he's like, "Thank you."
That Rix has gently taken care of her master. Guara, can she kind of sense that? I mean, she senses that he's doing the rage. Can I roll an insight for her?
Sure.
Please. Does
In that moment, she takes it all in. She sees that he's still actively raging. Having been with you guys during your particular training session in Lyrenton, as Bruce is discovering his new powers, before she decided to eat grass, she sees what Bruce is doing, and not only that, her sense of smell has picked up the blood coming from his hand. And she senses that she can see, like, she's not sure how to process it, but she can see that he's actively squeezing that piece of metal in his hand.
Does he seem like can she tell if he seems like... Okay, she's just gonna like paw at his leg a little bit. Like she's trying to understand him a little better.
Okay. In response to her pawing at your leg, is there anything that Bruce would like to do?
Probably look down at her.
If she were a dog, she does a head tilt.
I love doggos when they do that.
Yeah, and he has no... Considering Guar is not a being that he can direct rage at, it's probably about when he'd start letting go of his grip slowly, like the rage would start wearing off, and in that moment, as like in times past when he can't run from his emotions anymore, and it hits him, all those memories of the 6 years that it didn't happen. He's just going to start weeping. He'd probably kind of collapse on the ground.
We're all crying.
Z will very gently approach him and like see if she can pat his shoulder and like speak comfortingly to him, hopefully without any damage to either of them. Like she's being very gingerly and very sweet and trying to, be there for you and calm you down.
Probably grab Guara. Just cry onto a cat for a while.
Well,
Yeah,
sure. I mean, that's the best way to do it.
I think she kind of like rubs into you, like she I think she understands whatever a 14 of understanding will give her. She doesn't quite understand.
Julia's over there muttering, "I can't fix it. I can't fix it." I'm not entirely sure what she's talking about.
And Kiz is muttering.
Is she?
Was that nod for me?
Yes.
Okay. Jalira, as you sit there, holding Fixer, looking at this friend that has served you well, served you for all of the things that you've needed him to do. The core that makes him up, that had gone dark, flickers ever so slightly. You kind of like look at Fixer, and then you kind of look up immediately, looking around like, did anybody else see that? Like you were like verifying, looking for sense that you didn't just think it. And suddenly you're not in this room anymore.
Okay.
Except you are in this room. Except you're not. Your friends aren't around. You don't see your friends. You kind of look up and look around, and you hear very rhythmic ping, 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 ping. You kind of focus around the room. Your eyes resolve a figure. Dwarvish in nature, with no real discernible detail. Like he's got the stature of Friedrich. He's got the same kind of build, but no discernible features except for this glowing hammer-shaped glyph on its forehead. Why can't you fix him? Ping, ping, ping.
I don't know, and
Do you want me to fix him? Ping,
yes.
ping, ping.
Yes, can you?
He stands there, the figure stands there looking at you, kind of glowing whitish orb eyes, just kind of staring at you. He kind of looks down at the anvil in front of him. And looks back up at you.
Can I use that?
And he sets the hammer down on the anvil.
Would that be okay? I'm not intruding.
Can you fix him?
I would like to try.
You would like to try. I would think you would want to do.
I would prefer.
Then do.
Okay.
Don't try. Fix him.
Okay.
And as you look
Frankie
around,
Yoda God?
As you look around, like tools appear, supplies appear, everything that you could want to fix this little guy is here. As if in this space, any form of crafting supply is at your beck and call should you need it.
I'm in nirvana. I'm not gonna hesitate at all. I'm gonna get to work. I'm afraid this won't last. I'm gonna make it up to Fixer.
Okay.
Right.
What feels like hours pass as you tweak and tune and adjust and fix and create. And you've managed to create Fixer as a artificer homunculus in the design of your choice that we've discussed.
Okay.
And in the hours that you were gone, you snap back in and you feel yourself kind of looking around the room as if you were trying to figure out whether you were crazy or not when you saw the flicker. But in your hand is not a broken Fixer. Would you like to describe your new Fixer?
At the core, still resembles the original Fixer that she loved. She tinkered on and improved on, but now surrounding that original Fixer core is the body. It's kind of like a hologram inspired by Mass Effect that I've been playing too much. Except it's the same cyan color, the same light blue color that she loves to add to everything. It's got... Is there a way to show the picture I sent you?
Well, there is indeed. Let me pull it up. And I will share it on my screen while you continue to kind of describe.
Okay, it's still got four... Okay, instead of being two little tubes, the headpiece looks a lot similar, but now it's got a like... It looks very insectoid. And I asked Jared if he thinks Bruce would be okay with that, and so we'll see how that happens. But instead of... It's now got a... What do you call the thorax, the abdomen? It's got 3 pieces. It's got little wings attached to the back piece, except they're made out of what used to be little legs. It's got the diamond on top of the head, the one that's inspired by the baby blanket she was found in. And it's just this. It's a hologram, but it's a hard hologram, hard light hologram. Here, I'll share it with at least on the.
You can share it if you want to share it in the Discord group, and then I will post it as soon as the image uploads. Okay. See if I can get it.
Sorry. For what? You and your Yoda thing?
No, they don't do your little thing.
Bruce is not okay with that.
Not gonna lie,
Can
Rick
the
is kind
stream-
of
can
terrified
it-
too.
Can the stream see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
If I put it in the middle there? Okay, cool.
Kinda.
No. Yes.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, our tokens are on top of it, but that's fine.
Mhm.
We'll add it to the website.
So, it's just a quick little sketch. I'm working on a digital one too.
Okay.
But I was excited,
Okay.
and she looks at him and he's so beautiful.
In this moment, like Jalira reappears, and all of a sudden there's this kind of blue glow emanating from Jalira that wasn't there like a second ago. Z, you're probably the one who really notes this, as Rix is currently kind of bent over Kiz as well as his sister, trying to figure out what, like, how can he help them. Bruce is like nose deep in Gora fur, like.
So did she actually disappear, or did Fixer just shift?
Fixer just seemed like she pulled him out, she was crying, and all of a sudden Fixer's alive in her hand. And you know what? That seems like a good place to go to break.
Okay.
And we're back. Good break, everyone, I trust. And we're going to go right back to Z seeing this glowing, floating, insectoid new version of Fixer that Jalira is now cradling almost in this loving fashion.
She's still like gently patting Bruce's shoulder and his head and trying to be comforting and not too obtrusive. So she's gonna like stage whisper, Jalira, the frick just happened to Fixer? What is going on around here?
I fixed him. I had help. But I think it means we're gonna be okay.
What does that even mean? What is okay? Does anybody even know anymore? Is anything ever gonna be okay?
Wow, your audio is.
The memes know that.
Gosh.
I'm gonna go hug Sydney.
Well, you have to get close to Bruce to hug Zaneem, so is that something you want to do right now?
We can have have a group hug thing if it helps.
Bruce, you're still face deep in Gora first, so you don't notice the new insectoid Fixer now kind of happily, jauntily perched on Jalira's shoulder to allow her maximum access for hugs. For his part, Fixer turns its little head, looking around, enjoying its newfound life.
Okay, would Fixer have moved on his own before?
Probably not as curiously.
Like Zaneem taking like a sudden interest in Fixer moving by itself. Fixer looks at Zaneem. Its little ocular lens gets a little bit wider and then shrinks back down. Then it turns around and it kind of hops off of Jalira's shoulders and flutters towards Nyx, and Kizrael. Landing on Kizrael first. Rix, this giant blue whatever, just flies right down in front of you. And some form of light passes from it into Kizrael, and Kizrael, you find yourself unparalyzed.
Oh, are you okay?
Then Fixer then flutters over to Nyx. Nyx, you're kind of recovering from this moment of overwhelm. You hear a knocking sound. And Seek looks up, immediately looking around. This almost paranoid expression of what else is happening right now. It's just a soft, polite knock.
Don't answer it.
What he said.
Did we all hear it?
No, it's just Nyx in her quiet, safe space with Seek.
Oh, okay.
Fixer's knocking on her brain.
Let the right one in.
Yeah.
Not a vampire, though. Please don't let the vampire in. Strahd, get out of here.
Slight pause. And again, the knocking repeats.
Nyx is gonna compose herself. Basically, kind of take a couple deep breaths. It's like, there's stuff going on outside. They might be in trouble. I should get back. Are you okay?
Seek gives you this look of like, no, I'm not okay. But what is that? And you kind of look like she points to one direction, and you kind of see the vague outline of a door. And again, you hear that knock, knock, knock.
Not yours? I thought this was yours.
She's
Nice.
There's a. She's like. Kind of. I usually am out of here by now. All right. I should probably figure out what that is. She thought it was outside world, so she's gonna go ahead and stand up, and she's going to carefully walk toward it.
okay.
Yeah.
Again, not just simple knock. A little bit slower now, just like knock, knock, knock.
Hello?
May I come in?
Who are you?
A friend.
Please don't undo everything I just did.
I know.
At least for you.
It's like, you the traveler.
No.
Okay, good. You the creepy, freaky lady with the dragon, the parent marks.
No. Look, you're the one who asked me what you should do. Did you want to have a conversation about that, or do you just want to sit here?
She's gonna go ahead and carefully open the door.
Standing at the door is a form that is of light, kind of amorphous, slowly kind of solidifying into something recognizable. No taller than Jalira, kind of the familiar sharp face bones of Jalira. If Jalira was a boy, and on its head it has this hammer glyph that's glowing.
Taylor would be a cute boy.
So, you asked what you should do.
Did you find Jalira's boyfriend?
I got here as soon as I could. I've helped your friend. She was in need. But you guys are going to need a way out of here. So, I'm just going to tell you to fix the forge. And with that, he turns around and walks out the door.
Thanks, Anatar.
Sheik is like, what was that?
It's like, okay. Just gonna shut the door.
The door disappears.
I so badly wanted you to turn that back around on her and be like, I cheated, okay? But I can't explain it because there's things you can't know.
I thought about it. I thought about it for a minute.
Like, okay.
Well, you should probably get back to your friends. I think that'd be a good idea. Roll me an insight check.
Okay. Oh, sorry, wrong place. I rolled it in the wrong place and got a 7. I forgot I had to change that, but do you want me to roll in?
A 7 total?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of snap out of your trance with Seek. You wake up. There's this glowing, curious thing, like looking you right in the face, like kind of sitting on your chest, was like standing over you, looking at you. And in the very center, it's got that same kind of white light. And you almost see, for the briefest instant, that light takes the shape of the hammer glyph and then just kind of goes back to a regular circle.
What
And
the
it's just kind of
hell?
staring at you.
Whose is this?
I mean, the more you look at it, you kind of like follow the face down and you start to see elements of, like, the color just like kind of screams at you. It's Jalira. I mean, if there was ever a color that screamed Jalira, this is it. And you kind of start to see the kind of remnants of Fixer's body that he used to have. And you start to see elements of where if Fixer could grow into a tiny or a much larger bug-like structure with wings, that's what you find yourself looking at. Jalira, in the meantime, you hear the, what the? Not used to Fixer just kind of jumping off on its own. You kind of turn your head and notice Fixer's is gone, and you look around and you see him just kind of floating or sitting right on Nyx's chest. Nyx, are you sitting up or are you just kind of still laying there?
Probably still laying there because she's not sure if it'll attack her if she moves or if it's safe. She hasn't quite assessed that much yet.
I'll come intervene. Just like
you holding still, it starts to do things that, whenever she would use Fixer to kind of identify things, like what can Fixer do to help this person? It kind of starts poking you and pinching you and testing you, puts one of its things on your head to see if you're running a fever. It's just like this curious little device that Jalira now comes and carefully picks up off of you.
I'm gonna like lean in because I'm just not sure if I'm supposed to really announce it. I think Anatar helped me make him.
Apparently, he heard my prayer, too.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
She's kind of... Wait a second. Where's everyone? Is everyone all right?
Rix is like looking at you, waiting for you to look at him. And as soon as you look at him, he says to you in twin speech, "Did I fix it?"
She's like, Seek's back?
Does her face look back to
her mark is where it's supposed to be.
Did he put it on the right cheek?
It was her forehead, I thought.
Well, now she just has to wear bandanas all the time. Though she was starting to rock the mask thing before it was cool.
It's strange. As you watch, it moves from her forehead down to her cheek, where it normally settles.
You feel side-eyed by a dragon mark, Rex.
Rude.
And next you're going to try and tell me you kind of tilted it so it would go in and look a little bit different from a different perspective.
I don't know what happened. What did you do? What do you mean did you fix it?
He just kind of... I don't even know where to start.
In this moment, as he's taking a minute to speak to you, you kind of realize that your clothes are once again ripped. As if a figure too big in a robe too small was once there.
It's not even the robes anymore. This is her dark clothing that she really likes.
It's a little...
Look, I can't fix everything, okay?
Worse to
Well,
wear.
she can with a certain little
Someone has mending, right?
somebody with a little droid named Fixer.
Did
Is
you
Bruce
look
all
at
right? She's like, she kind of like looks. She's like, is Bruce all right? Did I do something?
No, not you.
What?
It
Is-
wasn't
may-
you.
Maybe it's time for all of us to let's just
She's
sit
like,
on
is
the ground.
Bruce dead? What's
And he's like,
going
no,
on?
he's like, he just looks at her and he goes,
She
He's-
sits up.
he just goes, he's like, he's alive.
We just
Okay?
need to take it slow, guys.
He's alive. And
Can we
I'll-
go just
let's
sit
yes, let's sit. Kids, good idea.
over there so and we'll just all sit on the floor. And
So the enemy's gone, right? She's not here anymore. Are we still trapped in the room?
Yes.
Did
What
we
happened to the
destroy
forge?
all of the statues?
At this point, you kind of look over. You see Bruce face down in Quora. Z kind of awkwardly next to him, trying to soothe and console him. And you see what might have been a forge, where there should be a forge.
Whoops.
Not looking like a forge right now.
Sorry, not sorry.
Don't apologize for that.
No,
Don't apologize for that.
She's gonna. She's gonna be careful. Just like. She's gonna go toward. She's gonna give him space, but she'll be like, Bruce, are you alright? I'm sorry if I did something
It wasn't
again.
you. It was me. Nix. Just let me explain, okay? Please.
Right? I'm sorry.
It's not. This isn't something you're gonna have to carry, okay? Not this one. He gently puts a hand on her shoulder.
She kind of takes his hand. She's like, it's not. She's like, I don't know what happened, but Hicks, you can't blame yourself.
No. I can. Definitely this one. But just let me explain, please. Okay?
She just nods.
And he just kind of looks at the others and he goes, when that woman tried to make a deal with me, I thought it was... It already happened, I think. But it wasn't what I thought it was. She needs dragon marks. I think she feeds off of them. And Seek lashed out at me when I tried to touch her face because it knew what that woman had given me the ability to do.
Z, your ears are burning as you stare at Rix right now.
And he kind of just keeps going. He's like, but here's the thing about deals, is that I never really agreed. Not me, exactly. And he kind of glances up, kind of like shrugging his shoulders, almost as if he's like shrugging his shoulders at the woman. And I stopped her from taking Seek. She really wanted Seek. And I put her back in you. And I took out Kuma. And then he kind of glances briefly at Bruce, and he's like, and I put him back where he was supposed to go. And it's almost like you can see like regret on his face in that moment. Like, he's just kind of like, and she wanted me to kill him because she can't control him. She can't corrupt him. And when he says corrupt him, he glances at Z.
Z's staring real hard while she's still, like, patting Bruise's head.
This woman... She wanted to hurt all of you. She wanted to take it all from you. Whether it be your marks or your lives. And I couldn't let her do that. But in order to not let her do that, I had to act fast. And I still have some work to do still. I still have to stop her influence. And I know it's hard to believe that I'm using what she can do. But if I can use what she can do to screw her over and to stop her from hurting you, from killing you, any of you, I'll do it. I won't let her have any of you. None of you. You're my family. And I know it's strange to hear, and I know it's hard to believe. I can hardly believe it myself, but Z, she's corrupted your mark. And I have to take it out. Not your mark, he quickly adds. I need to take the corruption out of it. I won't hurt your mark and I won't touch your mark. I just need to get that poison out of you. Please, let me do that. And he just kind of looks at you, Z, expectantly. Shut up, Jared.
And Z's like, I'm gonna need a minute here. I don't understand anything that's going on, and until I understand something a little bit better, nobody's touching my mark or anything else. Can we please figure out who Bruise is before we go any further? Is he the Bruise who we've grown to know and love? Is he still the other Bruise? Is there some
as she says,
Bruise
hold on,
coming out?
As she says,
other things going on here, and then we'll get to your weird dragon mark stealing powers in a little bit.
So as she says, the other Bruise, Rix goes, we loved him too.
Of course we did! I just want to know who he is right now!
You mean
all eyes on Bruce?
kind of like you mean could it change? What?
I don't know. I just know that he has Kuma again.
And V still doesn't say anything to you other than like gentle murmuring and like trying to soothe you as you're sitting there sobbing. And then she stops occasionally to like look real curious at Rix and go on her rant, and then she goes back to the gentle murmuring, and it's all gonna be okay.
Like every time Rix has brought up corruption in this conversation, you've had this. What corruption? There's a corruption. My mark's fine. Why does he need to touch my mark?
There's no war in Bossing Sai.
Can,
No war in Boston.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
so I have a question, Mike.
Everything's hunky dory.
Can I hide her mark, or can I connect and hide her mark?
Whose?
It's Neem's.
You can try.
Why do you need to hide Z's mark? Z's not going to be okay with that. Nobody
I
needs
know.
to be touching Z's mark right now.
She's not touching you.
She doesn't need to
She
touch
doesn't
you for
have
this.
to.
Cast your spell.
Yeah, she's gonna try and cast her spell.
It
See
used
what
to be
happens.
a touch spell.
She just did because that was how she first learned it.
You're gonna put it in the chat there.
Yeah. Concealed dragon mark. She's gonna try. We'll see what happens.
It might
I
let her.
don't know if that's gone. Sorry.
Okay. It's as if Z's dragon mark disappears.
Is this like gotcha dragon mark? Is Rick's gonna just like hold the thumb?
No, she's just
He
one,
broke
she
him.
doesn't know if it'll still work, and two, just to see if,
Oh,
if
like, does Z
connecting-
know that her dragon mark is concealed?
Peekaboo.
Mm.
Can Z tell?
For Nyx to cast this, it is a verbal and a semantic component, so she does have to say something and wiggle her fingers in some fashion.
Quiet.
Are you doing it on the down low?
Yeah, a bit.
I'm gonna need you to roll me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Z, what's your passive perception?
12.
You see her like kind of over in the corner, just kind of twitch her fingers. Being somebody who humbles things in the corner and twitches your own fingers, like you sense the very like her pulling on what magic there is and what magic she possesses to affect what's around her, and you like your immediate thought is like in the back of your mind, your corrupted dragon mark goes, "Ah, where did I go?"
Z
Almost involuntarily, you like grab your chest where it's supposed to be, and you look down, and it's gone.
She can feel it though, right? It's just not.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, and she'll drop it right after.
I mean,
but she was
there's this moment of Rick's talking about taking marks and touching things, and
Grabs her own boob.
Which would really be a fine, whatever thing. But at this instance, Z is I think pissed is an understatement.
Nice.
Because she literally just said, "Don't nobody go be touching no marks here until we figure out what's going on." And then Nyx did some magic on her and messed with her
You
mark.
dare use magic to violate Z's consent? Kind of a monster would do that.
It's all coming full circle.
But yeah, she just does it for a second and then drops it.
And Z's dragon mark is out and proud, like Zanim always has it.
What did that accomplish other than making me not feel safe with my own family?
She's like, mostly I was trying to see if it still worked or if something with the corruption would have happened. Sorry.
We haven't established that there's any corruption other than what Rick said as he's messing with people's marks. And I just said, don't do the thing. And you did a thing. Not cool. Can we take a minute and focus on other things for a few minutes?
Kizriel, is there anything you want to say at this point? I see you leaning forward like you want to say something.
Well, I was thinking about whether the protection from good and evil, how that interacted with the corruption. But I don't know if I can't really like cure it. Can I do an insight on Rick's?
Sure. What would
Yeah,
you
go
be
for it.
insighting?
I mean, he probably believes that Zanim's mark is corrupted
Absolutely.
and that he can fix the corruption. Right? I mean,
It wouldn't, he's not hiding any of his emotions or anything right now.
okay. So there's no point doing an insight.
Tentacles in Z's mark at one point.
Kids saw it once.
Swear.
Zanim, I think he's right. I've seen the dark tendrils on your mark. Please, you gotta let us try.
I'm not saying we can't try something or other in a bit, but can we focus and pick one thing at a time, and then we can talk about how y'all are crazy saying that my mark is corrupted? What the heck?
You have this real big urge to hypnotic gaze on Kizriel. So I'm going to need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw real quick.
Please roll high.
You manage to you kind of like catch yourself as you're about to like kind of pull into that kind of like, you kind of lock eyes with Kizriel for a minute. And you kind of start to pull there and you kind of shake your head. No, that's not going to accomplish anything. Moving on.
Rick's,
Does that jog the memory?
Anybody with a passive perception over 14 definitely caught Z doing this kind of staring thing like she's about to do that she's done before.
Yeah. I mean, it helped me last time, but she was also sobbing and crying the last time she did it.
Imagine it's exactly like Ka from the Jungle Book.
Trust in me. All right. Rix is like, Z, did you just did try, do you see what was just going on?
I didn't do anything. Let's
You
focus
tried.
on something
No,
other
no,
than
no, no.
me.
We're not gonna. You tried.
Zanim,
I
another
saw
wisdom
you
saving
try.
throw.
You did it on me before, and then you were sobbing, and you were crying, and you were apologizing.
Like you almost find yourself trying to do it to Rix to get him to shut up. But again, you stop yourself like, no, that's not going to solve a problem here.
See, does Bruce have the tattoos with the names of his killed crew, or not?
All of them?
I mean, he's wearing a shirt currently.
Oh, he is? Okay.
I'd like to reach over Guara and kind of just poke at Bruce's hands that are kind of over her, and then try to get him to. If he pokes his head up, I'm going to try to get eye contact and give him that look like, "Are you okay?" If he doesn't work.
After a minute or so, he kind of props his head up. He does not make eye contact. He's looking at the ground, like a couple of feet away. He has kind of a distant look on his face. And he just says, Galvez.
Do you guys remember who Galvez was?
Wasn't he the
Captain,
captain?
right?
The captain of the Enchantress's song.
He died in
He
both
died.
versions, right?
He died, but the rest of your crew's okay.
No, that's not. That's what He kind of shakes his head and still not really making eye contact. That's what
Jalir, it's
we're gonna
this
name him.
moment. You don't remember anything different. It's Gimbal. It's always been Gimbal. It's always been Surf. It's always been Drew.
Okay.
As if memories have kind of fallen back into place. There's a couple things that stick out, like there was somebody taught you how to craft some stuff. Something was different. You learned how to do some stuff different. But nothing solid like the memories that you'd previously had.
That's what they were gonna name him.
Your crew's not okay. I'm so sorry. See,
Yeah. Odiana was pregnant. They Colin asked if he could name him Bruise, and I told him that was a shite name for a kid. You name a kid Bruise, and he's just gonna get a collection of them from other kids. So no, I told him to name him Galvus. That's why she took such an interest in you, Cherry. She was gonna need to leave. She needs someone to take over, and I didn't know a better artificer anywhere, so. I was going to teach him how to sail. Bought him a boat. Little tiny one. I'm sorry. Hi. Is a little out of it. Is everyone all right?
Do you have Kuma back?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you feeling okay?
Oh, yeah, me? I'm fine. Sorry. There's just a lot.
Inside that was definitely a lie.
Just a lot all at once. Sorry. I didn't mean to. What were we talking about?
I was wondering if you could help us convince your sister to let us try removing the corruption from her dragon mark.
Oh. He's gonna look at Z.
I think we need you. We always need
How
you.
does he look at Z?
Z looks freaking furious.
No, he's just making eye contact with her. He's
Okay.
trying
Okay.
These
We're gonna need you to help with Z.
Z.
And just this look of, I'm gonna hold you down. No, just making eye contact with Z. Z, as you make eye contact with Bruise, it's your brother. It's who it's supposed to be, and yet you see in his eyes so much more pain, so much more grief, so much more loss than any soul has any right to bear. No one should have that put on them. And yet your brother stands here in front of you, looking at you.
She gives him she wants to give him a great big hug, but she's not sure if that's okay or not. And she is actively ignoring everybody else and fuming that, they're not just focusing on the one thing and grrr. So she's really angry at everybody else. and she wants to hug her brother, but she's not sure that it's okay.
He'd open his arms a bit.
She'd give him a great big hug. I loved you no matter what, but I'm glad you're back.
Kind of takes like a deep breath and while holding her and yeah, you miss me?
Of course I did.
Yeah. That was kind of weird, wasn't it?
It's one word for it. So did you remember that whole we used to maybe kind of be half-elves thing?
One thing at a time.
It's been a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just glad I'm an orc.
I'm just glad that you're you.
Well, mostly just because I thought that fireball here was going to kill me, but yeah.
I was doing my best to stop the crappy evil tentacles. I'm sorry that I don't have your massive muscles to beat the crap out of a metal forge.
Well, I mean, if you started doing push-ups.
She would flip him off.
I mean, just like every sentence you read in a book, just one.
Then, do you know how distracting that would be while reading to stop after every sentence? What a horrible idea!
I mean, I thought you were smart enough to link all that together.
I didn't say I wasn't smart enough. I said it would be really annoying.
So what's going on with you? He kind of looks at the group, kind of looking at them, and then looks back at her.
Well, brother, strange things are happening.
Bruce is gonna look back at the forge. Yeah. I feel like it's been that kind of month.
Pretty much up together.
Kind of looks around. So what do we need to do?
If I know.
We need to find a way out.
Riz told that to find a way out, we have to fix the forge. She would be absent-mindedly kind of tying her clothing back together.
Yeah. And Rix is not looking at Bruce.
Julia is crying again because, I mean, she's feeling conflicted, but she made friends with Odiana and now she's gone, and she just doesn't know how to handle that. And she feels bad that it's going to be 10 times worse for Rick, for Bruce, and so she really has no right to be feeling that.
Yeah, Nyx isn't meeting their eyes either.
Wait. Okay, I'm going to look up and see who's actually, like, up for eye contact.
Bruce.
Just Bruce. Just Bruce. That's it. That's it.
I don't know if you want to, if you make eye contact with Kiz, she has this look of pity on her face. Like, she feels sorry for you, but also a bit of guilt.
He's just gonna ignore that undertone. Jeez, I'd take one day off and you will fall to shit.
What can I say? Apparently, we're helpless without you.
I mean, yeah, but
We still
Well,
had him.
other you was useful. We just had to remind him every 5 minutes that we remembered things differently.
kind of reach it down. He's like scratching Guara.
And the Quora missed you.
Gora's got those
Awkward.
post-fight. Yeah, Gora's got those post-fight kind of coming down. It's been a while still, but she's still kind of coming down from it. She's like loving on Bruce, but also coming back and loving on Kiss. Like, I've got my Bruce back, yay! But mommy, that was bad. I think I died, but I'm not dead.
I'm going to risk using my last 2 spell slots to do a Cure Wounds on Laura first, and then Bruce. So it's 2 different heals.
Oh,
Okay, so you heal Guara 6 points of damage. You find yourself pulling that energy, not from the ambient nature magic that you intended, but from yourself as you kind of pull that life out of you and invest it into your cat. Do you really want to go with the second one, or do you want to hold off on
Bruce
that?
saw that. Bruce was like, "I'm good." I'll be no. Yeah, I thought we weren't supposed to heal here, anyways.
Well,
It
I
works
want to keep everybody
sometimes.
safe.
I can't. He kind of looks over at Cherry. He's like, "I can't give you any more spell, and I can't do that anyways. Sorry, got a lot in my head."
The blue potions.
Yeah.
Do you want me to try? Do you want me to try Cure Wounds? I think do we have any more health potions?
Well, don't they only really work right in like extra-dimensional spaces?
The healing would work better if we could do the rope trick and.
What about the bag of holding?
You want to drink it inside the bag?
I mean, isn't that an extra-dimensional space? Don't we have a really big one?
There might
I
be
don't think I can get in there, but
an animatronic dog in there of evil. Just I wouldn't feel comfortable with you going inside the bag.
Kiz and Cora have the same hit points right now. That's fine.
All right, I'm going to pull out a blue potion and drink it.
What did we suspect that did?
restore spell
Okay.
slots.
Does it work?
Go to my homebrew creations. Hold on.
Does it explode?
And then when we're done, like everybody calming down.
Somebody else has the rest of those, I think.
I think
the
Rick's
blue
on-
ones? There was only 2, and Bruce drank 1.
There, I don't have any more blue ones. I had 3 greater, and we used them all.
Okay. When drinking this potion, the imbiber tastes a tropical fruity flavor that recharges exhausted spell energy.
My dice.
Jalira, you have the choice of regaining 3 first-level spell slots, 2 second-level spell slots, or a single spell slot of 3rd level or above if you have access to them.
3rd level.
What's 3rd level?
So 2 second level spots?
2 second levels or 3 first levels.
All right. Get out the rope. Get inside.
Do we have any more healing spells that we can cast?
I have one.
One. Who wants it?
I have one.
I have 1 since Bruce didn't take it.
Yeah, the spell let my catalyst my second level catalyst. Have 2
Okay.
charges, so I can use another one.
Rix kind of looks at Kiz and Glora. Are you guys? Don't tell me how much health, but how are you looking? Like rough, okay, bloodied. Can you give me a general idea?
Okay.
You're looking okay. Okay.
I think we're okay. I think we're good to make it until we're gonna rest. I mean, as much as it's creepy that the statues blocked us in here by becoming a wall, or how do we? Well, I guess the evil lady's right above us.
Mm-hmm.
Do we? It'd be really nice if we could take our rest in the chapel. I think that would be really nice. But
Well, did Cherry cast the rope trick already, or
Yeah,
is she getting ready to?
We got it's up.
She's got it.
Well,
We
got
could
an
rest
hour.
in there at least.
at least for an hour, yeah.
Nobody else is gonna go up. She's gonna like. I'm gonna.
Rix is gonna
Oh,
go up. Rix is
come
gonna
on.
go up.
Bruce will.
So will Nyx.
His up just as far away from Rix, or Z will go up. She's just gonna stay as far away from Rix as possible.
Rix is gonna keep a close eye on you from now on. By the way.
You usually keep it short enough that Glora can jump into a tree branch, right?
Yeah, she has. She's changed it so I think it can be.
She just needs to be able to jump up to a tree
Yeah.
branch.
You guys find yourself in this relaxing space. Reminds you of home. And you take your hour's rest.
I'm gonna roll some hit die.
Yeah, it's cool. Take a short rest.
Who's looking the worst?
I think probably Bruce.
I'm gonna be hold. I'm gonna hold new fixer. I'm just gonna look a little nervously at Bruce. Bruce, I'd like you to. This is fixer 2.0. I think God help me make him. It's I'll explain it later, but please don't freak out. And I'm gonna let him flutter over to where Bruce is at and cast Cure Wounds on him.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna use some hit die.
Okay.
13. Okay.
Nice. Sure. Bruce watches this thing fly over to him. So that's
So are you right there with him, or where are you in relation to his location?
I guess I'm imagining him across the space in the tree.
So Jalira just kind of lets Fixer kind of flutter over to you, flies over, lands on your shoulder, kind of curiously looks at you, starts kind of crawling over your body, figuring out where you've got the most wounds. He notices you got burned, so he starts to kind of pull out this starts to inject this kind of cream onto where you were burned by Zanim's fireball. Starts spreading things around, and you notice that the catalyst, like normally for Jalira to do this, she'd have to be standing right next to you with Fixer in hand. And yet Jalira's on the other side of this extra dimensional bubble as Fixer is just doing his thing. You see like the remaining glow of the her second level catalyst kind of spark and blink and then fade out as the power is used from it. Jalira can cast healing spells at range.
Can she cast any other spells at range? Because that'd be super dope.
I mean,
You can channel magic through Fixer.
Yeah, get it.
Where is the name?
neat.
On the
She's in the
opposite
tree.
side of the room from Rix.
is Bruce freaking out at all the little legs, or is he okay?
I feel like I need to actually make this a space and a map that you guys can go to. Maybe I'll do that this week.
Did
Yeah.
you describe that it's a tree?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's the one of the trees we used to hang out in as kids at the orphanage.
Nyx is gonna go over to Zanim. Like,
Stunning strike. Get her, Rix.
Oh man, Oh gosh,
Me.
we already have enough internal strife. Let's dial it back, guys.
Are you doing all right? I'm sorry. I did want to say I was sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable by doing that before. I didn't think about it enough, apparently.
Thank you for the apology. I'll be fine. I just need some space for a little bit. I'd like us to focus on the important things.
You're important.
Well, yeah, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that I'm not corrupted and that I'm not currently comfortable with the mark moving Rick's touching me right now. So let's not go there, shall we?
Well, don't you trust him? Or do you not trust Rex?
Do I know of any way to detect this corruption they're describing?
What kind of detect?
Maybe
Like with detect
you
magic?
should wait until after she's not pissed.
She's gonna. I just want her to start thinking about it.
No, I'm just a suggestion.
Okay. Well,
No, as far as you have, like, you yourself haven't seen the corrupted tentacles that Kizriel has seen. You haven't received information like Rix has received. You haven't seen it. You don't know. There's nothing there to really grab at, unless you want to roll me an Arcana check.
I mean, Julia's currently in a. I want to fix everything for my friend's mood again.
Yeah,
She's
nothing.
gonna rack her brain and her very awesomely useful Arcana knowledge.
Fixer's pretty.
Says she's gonna get a headache. I mean,
You're thinking
Fixer
about
is
it
pretty.
like maybe I can alter Fixer to hunt for the corruption. Just so pretty.
Oh, dude. Bruce,
So,
that's not-
does the memes respond to Nix's question?
Well, in her head, she was thinking pretty loudly, well, I trusted him before he got all freaky with the dragon marks. Now I don't know what's going on with people, and people are getting changed, and things are going on, and I am not comfortable with anything right now.
So does she not say any of that, or does she say that to her?
Let's see. That's the internal struggle. I think externally she would be like, there's an awful lot of strange things going on, and people are changing in strange and odd ways that we haven't quite figured out. So I'm not really trusting much of anything at the moment.
With everything that changed with Bruce, I knew one thing. He would never betray us. And I don't think any of us would betray the others. Not intentionally, for sure.
He's making deals with the bad guy
I didn't really make that
to
deal.
betray the bad guy, but still.
He didn't make any deals. What he said is that he got really pissed at her for trying to make a deal with him.
And now he's got crazy dragon mark stealing powers. Forgive me for not wanting that near me right now.
I'm not.
Can I hear
Have you
this
felt-
conversation?
We're in a
What's
small
your
room.
perception?
Passive perception 17.
Yeah, you're probably hearing it.
Okay.
I mean, we're not.
He's not.
The space isn't that
He's
big.
not saying anything just now. He's just listening.
I know that there's a lot going on, but have you felt any different? You didn't want to go into the room in the first place. And I know you did to help us out, and it was a lifesaver. And maybe, do you think your dragon mark ability, where you can see it all, do you think you could test it? Look at yourself and look at everyone and see if there's something different?
Sure, do that.
Yeah,
As far as the spell works, would that work? Could she look at herself with detect dragon mark and at the very least be convinced that she could see if there was corruption?
It's worth a shot.
do we need a mirror?
She can see her dragon mark on her chest without a mirror.
It's got some lift.
She's good. She's got enough.
She's endowed.
All right.
It's a family trait.
Oh,
Oh man.
But just, I wouldn't discount everything. I know that a lot of really strange things happened, and
I'm not discounting everything. I'm just not comfortable right now.
I understand. And I'm not saying that you have to be comfortable right now. Just, I know that when I start to doubt people because of all the things that happened to me, that I have to stop and say, is this me doubting? Or is this something else? Is this my training? Is this my handler's shit that was in my head? Is this Zeke? So I'm not. I just want you to kind of assess that for yourself. And know.
All right, well, then let me cast a spell and I'll do some assessing. So Z goes and finds a corner and sits down quietly by herself for 10 minutes.
I wanted to let you know that I believe in you and I trust you, no matter what. She's gonna get back and she's kind of like not sure. She kind of looks at Bruce, not really sure what to do, like if she should talk to him or not, and just go over to Rick's probably.
Bruce is currently playing with 3 different weapons.
When Nyx gets over to Rick's, he kind of looks up at her and he says, I can't keep them. I can take them out and move them, but I can't keep them. And
Oh,
when hopefully it works and that she'll see and that this thing isn't clever enough to hide what it's done to her. I don't
We're in a
think...
small space, aren't we?
Yeah.
Does that mean you could take hers?
He looks at Bruce. He's like, you mean take her mark?
Yeah, like that full body thing she's got.
In theory, but
It gives her power.
I don't know. I'll have to talk with the Traveler about it. He's the one that
maybe
sort of negotiated the non-deal.
I mean, from what I've heard of the Traveler, he's probably proud of your non-taking of the deal.
Repercussions are sure to be swift. I was supposed to give her Nyx's mark in exchange for Bruce's life.
Hey, Bruce, do you think we can take her with all of those cool weapons?
Bruce is currently kind of trying to juggle.
Could you roll me an acrobatics check?
Sure. Could it be more athletics? He's not really trying to juggle. He's kind of like more tossing.
Don't forget you have an inspiration point.
This would be the moment to use it. Acrobatics? All right. 13?
Good enough. You're not like
Not fancy, yeah. He's not
you're not fancy, but you're just like do 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 do.
kind of hitting them on the ground at times to see what they do.
But,
Okay.
you know, and Rick's kind of adds, he's like, give her Nyx's mark, save Bruce, but she was gonna kill us anyway.
Mm-hmm.
To kids, he's like, oh yeah, she's dead.
Will we survive, though?
Haven't
died yet.
I don't think we're getting out of here until she is dead.
But are we ready?
No.
She picked this fight with us. We didn't pick it with her.
If we can protect and support Rex, would you be?
What are we gonna do to kill her?
I think your idea is a really good one, but yeah, Rex does need to talk to his god first.
I like Onatar.
I think she's been down here a long time. And I think the Forge is just the start of her influence on this place. I wouldn't be surprised if we run into other problems she creates. But at the same time, I don't know if we're ready. But I think if we can find what we're looking for in here, by the time we are ready to go, I think we may be. But it's just me talking. So.
Well, I mean, is rebuilding the Forge a really good idea if she's...
Well, she didn't make the Forge, right?
It's just what the god who came and visited me was weird.
Are all of you talking to gods now?
Yeah, I'm getting kind of jealous. Not really, actually. It sounds like really awesome experience for you guys.
I got one, and then I got a crazy lady. So. And
hey kids, you're the only one without a voice in your head.
Congratulations. I hope you enjoy the peace and quiet.
And on that note, Kisru. No.
I mean, I mostly just follow Balinor, but that's because he's the god of the hunt.
I mean,
You actually follow a god?
I mean,
kind of, I guess.
If we could, because of all the people here, I think who are qualified to rebuild a forge, it's in Cherry's hands.
I'm sure we could assist her.
Oh yeah, but
not as much as that cool little kid.
But
parrot thing,
maybe
bug.
Maybe there's a way that you can. I mean, she's had years for it. Maybe she won't be able to corrupt it so quickly.
Well, it had a dragon mark connected, a dragon shard powering it.
I have a few.
Let me look and see if there's a way that we can insulate the dragon shard.
If you give me a long rest, I can cast Protection for Good and Evil on the shard.
Only lasts 10 minutes. I have it too.
Well, as long as it's enough for us to get out of the room. Hey, can I pick up the whip?
I think you have the whip.
No, the whip was left on the table, I think.
No, I shoved everything in the bag.
That's right.
The whip was in the other room, not this room. The whip from the other room I just shoved into a bag.
The
Oh,
whip,
wait.
Oh, I thought the whip was right there.
the whip was here
Yeah,
in this room.
There's another whip.
Okay, well, we're in the
It's
tree right now.
identical.
I'll make a note.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
not
go
play with
ahead
the
and
whip
go
yet.
down and take a look at it. Just pay attention to the time, or else it'll just spit you out and drop you on the floor on your
Oh.
butts.
I'll come and help you. Just tell me what to do and I'll do what I can.
I'm gonna play in the tree a little bit in this nature.
I think you're taking the lead on this one, Cherry.
I'm gonna stay and
Look
wait
at
for
it.
Zanim.
See if you're feeling up to it.
Z's
It'd be a lot of
casting
fun
a
to-
spell.
Okay.
I'm sure she's making
Oh, she is. Okay. She could probably help me out with the. But yeah, I'm gonna go work on what I can. Bloop. No.
Okay. Speedily trying to put things together because totally forgot that I had items that I only half created. So
Nice. Oh yeah, I
Uh,
have a sword that does poison damage. Or is it acid damage?
Acid
Acid
damage.
damage. Yeah.
okay. Zanim. After taking
Yep.
your required 11 minutes worth of time, keep in mind you guys
Well-
are taking a short rest, not doing anything heavy or exerting for the entire hour to roll hit die.
Mhm.
Those who you chose to roll hit die.
Since
I'm just casually listening. I'm probably like writing down notes for Cherry as I'm just sitting.
Z, you finish casting your spell.
Mm-hmm.
Having formerly been in a room or White Hearth where everything lit up with Dragon Mark magic, being here in this place, it's kind of peaceful and relaxing to the eyes. Not everything is glowing.
Mm-hmm.
Taking that time to kind of focus. Where do you look first?
Who was still up in the tree with me?
Nyx, I think.
Nyx is
Nyx.
up there. Rix is
Laura
up there.
and Kiz.
Kiz is up there. Bruce is up there.
I think pretty much everyone is if we're taking a short rest up there.
I left a little early.
Okay, so Jalira has jumped down and has begun her investigations. But
Okay.
where do you look first?
She'd look at Kiz's hand because Kiz has a normal dragon mark.
And Kiz's normal dragon mark is blissfully normal.
Okay. Then she'll look at Nyx's face.
Nyx, roll me a stealth check, real quick. Z, roll me an arcana check. You get a brief flash of her mark as it just like, nope. And it covers itself. But it's
Does it
familiar
flicker
enough. It's familiar enough to you to know that that's how her mark has behaved in the past.
Okay. Hey Bruce, can I check out your mark for just a minute?
Just gonna kind of look at her like confused.
Just let me look for a
see-
second, please.
I don't have a dragon mark. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, do whatever you want.
Can he get his inspiration back if he used it?
He did not use it, but man, that was good.
Kiz is like, almost
Everyone-
in tears.
Everyone
but is
stops
now
and
laughing
looks at him
through.
like, what? And Rix is like devastated, like,
Jared. No. You're gonna keep that inspiration point for next game. Because the ones I was handing out today is only for, St. Patty's Day for extra luck.
oh.
And those are just gonna go away as soon as the session's over.
I wish I used that earlier.
But now you've got that for next session.
Hey, Mike, can I use
Dang.
my inspiration point to re-roll the 1 on the hit die I got?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
Oh,
No, that one's
At
gonna
least I don't have
stay.
to change the math at all.
wait,
Yep.
you're a halfling.
There.
Does that count for hit?
No, that's only for D20s.
Technically, so is
Okay.
inspiration, but since this is just a luck die, throwing it out there. Okay,
Can I have the 6?
like Bruise's dragon mark. It's there. It's normal. It's pulsing like it was in the past. It's not different. It's like it should be.
Okay, then she looks down at herself.
I need you to roll me a stealth check and an arcana check.
And I know why she wanted Nyx's mark so bad.
Mhm.
Okay. Now where's your stealth check?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it tries. It tries to do what Nyx's does. It tries to kind of almost blend and shape itself like your mark, but it's very apparent that there is this. Your
mean,
mark
she
is kind
does-
of outlined.
She does
from
have an
this aberrant
inspiration
dragon mark.
dice.
Anybody
Yeah.
can give. You know what? Anybody can use an inspiration dice.
Don't.
I'm gonna make it a 20. Just kidding. You see overlaying yours, trying to hide within your mark, is this black, deep purple, corrupted ick that seems to kind of coat your mark. But not only that, it kind of like has tendrils into your skin around the mark, and you feel it kind of flowing into your chest.
Well, she believes Rix now. Okay, Rix, let's do this.
Rix is like, oh, okay. Kind of like silently like turns to the traveler. Oh, thank you. And he's going to go over to her and he's like, oh gosh. He's gonna have to like touch her chest. It's like immediate like
He sees the
discomfort.
discomfort on his face and starts to laugh at him like that.
You didn't have that much discomfort when it came to Bruise. I mean,
Look, that was an emotional scene, okay? Alright, so he's like, okay. And so he reaches out and he puts his hand out over her mark and immediately is like almost like trying to focus his mind to getting the corruption and starting to pull it out.
Roll me an arcana check.
Oh no.
If you take her actual marks, she's gonna be so pissed.
Am I okay? Because if I'm not
It's up
okay.
to you if you want to use it or not.
everyone just burn your inspiration. It's almost 10. Just use it all right now and see if we get a natural 20 out of this.
If you would like to use your inspiration die,
You have
can.
like 4 rerolls.
No, I don't want to use that inspiration.
Okay. Do it again. I got one for you.
Okay. Well, we'll see. It's only going to get worse from here. I can feel it in my bones.
You can't get worse than a 1.
13.
Cherry.
I'll give you one more.
I rolled a 1
burn
again, Mike. I quit. No, it's even worse.
Cherry.
Okay, take mine.
Guys, I am so sorry. I am not an intelligent boy. Natural 1 again. F this game and F everything that is the digital roller.
You can take my inspiration die. Let's just do it. Let's just see. Come on.
Yeah! Holy cow, I took every single one!
Oh, the traveler. That's with us.
He's like, yeah, no, yeah, okay, yeah.
We're all just watching this happen.
It's like a struggle. Like,
You place your hand down on Zanim's chest.
As
You start to try
he's
and-
doing that, and Bruce sees him so like trepidous. He's like, "Oh, geez, we just grab it already."
There's just this hesitancy as you kind of and you start to kind of pull, and it doesn't want to let go. So you try another angle, and as you kind of pull, you start to see the blue and green come up, and you're like, no. Kind of again, just kind of rub it down, like, no, that didn't
he's
happen.
like sweating bullets. He's like,
You
Totally
go to
rubbing your
try,
boob.
You go to try it like a couple more times. You're digging around for trying to find the best angle to get, and eventually you kind of like scoop it on. So you get a full cup grab of Zanim's boob, getting under the lacing of the corruption, and you're able to turn your hand around and grab it and pull it off. And one of the first things you notice is that this corruption looks nothing like the other. It's black, it's purple, it's got a little bit of dark blue running through it. It's not the same.
not the same as.
Not the same as the corruption that's upstairs.
Okay.
And you hear in your head the voice of the traveler like, corrupted things are dangerous. She said she wanted it, though.
You're right.
And you have this moment of,
She-
okay,
She did, didn't she?
you have this very thought-filled, you had this very kind of thought in your head, if you just speak a word, it goes away.
Like goes away, or goes away
Yeah.
where I send it.
It goes where you send it.
Cool. Can I hop out of the rope trick and do that real quick?
Sure.
So you see Rick's, he has this like I don't know if you can see the energy in his hand, but he grabs
now
it and
that
he's
you
like,
pulled it off of him, everybody can see. It's wriggling like an alien creature. It's trying to like stick its tendrils into you,
but it's not working.
but it seems unable to find purchase.
And he looks, he's like, I know just what to do with you. And he goes, whoop, hops down, and then he's like, hey.
Did that seem ominous to anyone else?
Yeah.
Jalira's like probably working. He's like, and he's just talking to the ceiling. He's like, I got something for you. Have fun. And he throws it up. And exactly is like,
You throw it up into the sky. You see the energy that you've used previously to pull this mark off. You feel it leave you, and it's a physical blow, and you will take 2d6 psychic damage.
Okay.
As you release this energy and it goes home. Because she was hoping for a 2-for-1 deal.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Min-max.
And the energy envelops it, and you see it kind of hit the ceiling and then creep up through the bricks and soak up into the room above. And then the ceiling shudders.
And he's like, enjoy.
Not in a good way.
Yeah, and he's like, enjoy.
I mean, like in a roof collapsing way?
Almost. Like, if it were to go on any longer, then that could have potentially posed problems.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just enough to let you know that not all is right with the world above.
He just goes, enjoy that for now. And he looks at Jalira, who's probably like, what the F? And he's like, corruption. Z was corrupted. I did the thing. And,
So you gave the corruption to the corruption?
well, it wasn't
Does that-
hers. It's someone else's corruption that she now has.
Where did Z get it then?
That
She's been around.
is a great question. Did you follow him down?
Well, they're not far apart. I think
Yeah.
we could still talk
Is
to
this
them.
like those STCs you talked about?
No, those are STDs, and Z talked about them. We were there for the
Okay.
whole lecture.
That final shudder and Rix's final words of, enjoy this. we're going to go ahead and end our session for tonight.
Okay.
Jalira, you are beginning your investigations on the forge, and that's where we will start next session. Yes, bug me this week about things.
Hey,
And
Jen,
I'm
that can be
assuming that
your
was towards
job.
the
You
end
can bug
of the
him.
hour. Then if Rick's rolled hit die, so if that wasn't interrupt, so you probably did that at the end of
I
your.
did it at the end of my short rest.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, so the rope tripic is probably down.
and you guys just
Cool.
saw me go, whook, and throw it up there and being like, "Have fun."
And that's where we're going to end. Everybody, thank you for participating. Everybody who stayed and watched, thank you for watching. Those who are going to watch on YouTube later, thanks for catching and checking it out. We look forward to seeing you next week, and we hope you have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day evening, and we'll see you then.